Let's do it.
Welcome to West Virginia and Commonplace. Certain times in life, there are movies that move you. And then it's sometimes in life, someone tells you about a movie that moves you later on in life. Today, I have with me not a collaborator, but a contributor to the show. His name is Brandon Janu, and he is from the Brandon Janu Show. And this is an episode about a movie that moved us. This episode is done in conjunction with the Brandon Janu Show, so you will hear this episode on my platform and on his platform later. So Mr. Brandon Janu, can you do your introduction, please, so everybody can know about Brandon Janu and how you do your introductions?
Oh man. Uh, this is the Brandon News Show. You already know. You catch me on podcast platforms, also my YouTube channel, and also now I am on Patreon. So you can go and subscribe and mess with me on Patreon. And always when I get a chance to work with one of my OGs, my mentors in the game, it's a blessing. So I'm working with my guy today, WV Uncommon Place, and let's do this, man.
All right, now we're talking about a special movie. There's all kinds of movies that come around that people talk about. They talk about Purple Rain, they talk about The Wiz, they talk about Paid in Full, they talk about State Property, they talk about it. They talk about all this stuff, but it's one movie that gets misplaced, and that is Moonwalker by Michael Jackson. And in this instance, I hit Brandon up because I had this idea because when I want to do stuff with music and art stuff, I come to you because you got a good outlook on things, and I know you're gonna research it as hard as I do. Now, Moonwalker is one of the movies that you're not gonna just pick up out the store. You're not gonna probably even download it anywhere beyond looking on YouTube. So if you would like to see this, definitely head over to YouTube and check it out. Now, Brandon, what was your first take on this when I told you? I was like, "Yo, watch this movie."
The first take that I took from it, it was like the first song. Like soon as he starts singing, it's Man in the Mirror, and it's like, oh wow, this is one of my favorite songs because it literally is like talking about reflection of one. You got to be the change you want to see in the world. And then as I got deeper into it, it was kind of like, oh wow, this is really just a depiction of what he is as a person and how his music has changed the world and how he has become such a superstar in this world, probably one of the biggest artists of all time. So yeah.
Okay. And the more you go into it, it does like a whole little um like it does a whole synopsis basically of his whole life, like to a degree,
Mm-hmm.
up until the album Bad. And then you start getting and Man in the Mirror is one of the songs from Bad, but you get really
Mm-hmm.
deep. Like it don't really pay homage to Thriller, but it goes deep into Bad and does some different songs, a little Dirty Diana. And then it had a little movie to go with the Smooth Criminal. And it's a little controversial because later on in life when you think about that movie, you kind of get a little whatever. But back to the point of the artistry of the movie with the dancing elephant balloon, I mean elephant bones and all the extra stuff. Um, my takeaway was that was it's a really nice body of work for Michael Jackson, and it's a hidden gem because it's not the 80s that people talk about, it's the 90s that people talk about Michael Jackson. They forget that in the 80s he was untouchable. It was nothing you could do to his star power was ridiculous. And probably about a little bit after Remember the Time, like 92, after that, he was,
Mm.
he was getting exposed, but that is not what we're here for. We was here basically for the fact that like because this is the first time experience for you when you watching this whole thing through, it kind of made you how did it make you feel about Michael Jackson?
I mean, to me, uh, Michael Jackson is one of the greatest entertainers. One thing about Michael Jackson that people don't also give him is dude could sing. Like if you listen to his vocals, like dude could sing. Like a lot of people don't give him that because they just like, oh, he's a great entertainer, he's a great dancer. It's like, dude, he could really sing too. Like, and when you go into like the Bad album, I think that was really actually his best singing, his best singing album because you can hear, on Dirty Diana, with the guitars and everything, you could hear what he was going into and doing. Or even with like even Smooth Criminal. Like you break it down and you break down the elements of Smooth Criminal, you could hear the vocals of what he was saying. Like it's an incredible album, an incredible song. Even Bad, the song Bad. Like if you listen to the song Bad, you go watch the video with Wesley Snipes. I think that was like the first time Wesley Snipes was like in a fucking video, like ever. And it was the first time we ever saw Wesley Snipes before any of this shit happened. Like he was in a bad video. Like so, yeah, man. I think that that whole album Bad is it is a time capsule because a lot of people forget like that was the first album, not Thriller. Bad was the first album to have 6 number ones off of one album.
Right. And then
So
yeah, and the thing about it, the only thing takeaway that I take that was just wrong. I didn't care too much for the little animation part in the Speed Demon song. It was silly because when I was young and seeing it, it was silly. But as I got older, I started seeing certain themes in it that we won't address here. But if you go back and watch it, watch the characters and watch how everything plays out, and you'll be like, huh? So you're gonna have to. I know you're gonna go do a double take like in a few days. Don't do it like tonight or something because
I'm not doing it tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of entertainment and different things going on right now,
Yeah.
and it was just
even
crazy.
Even like Leave Me Alone, like you was talking about like when he was dancing with the Elephant Man's bones. That was a Leave Me Alone video. Like if you actually pay attention to the Leave Me Alone video, he's talking about how he was going through all of the trials and tribulations in the tabloids.
Yeah.
So like pay attention to that too. Like like when he's like doing the carnival, but it's him being the fucking roller coaster. It's like oh my god. Like I was like, what the fuck?
But as an adult, that you realize like what he was going through. Like this dude is really painting a mental image that he was out here hurting, and to me, for real, it didn't look like people cared. They was just around because, like, truly, we'll never know that type of success that he went from Thriller to Bad.
Hell, from like a kid star to a grown ass man, like
right, and that's what got me too, because when they went into the little Jackson 5 stuff,
yeah.
I wasn't familiar with every song, but then I heard the joint with the rap Ben, the Two of Us Need Look No More, whatever. That right there took me back. I had to go back and listen to the Jackson 5 on the low. I listened to what was digitally enhanced because some of it wasn't all that great. And that's one thing I will say, like, if I had a record player or something, I probably would enjoy it a little bit more. But what you hear now, you can hear too much distortion. But anyway, so like the whole story and everything, and then when he turned into the robot to protect the kids and shit, I'm like, Michael? I'm grabbing my chest like, Michael? People was letting this shit slide. And the one thing that's funny about this is in my age demographic, when this came out, right, he had a arcade machine. There's a Moonwalker video game.
Yeah.
On the Sega Genesis. He was out there hitting dudes with your woos and knocking through walls and stuff. You hit the ABC combo and jump up during Annie, are you okay? And back then in them type of games, you could hit women and stuff. Because me and Stacy was playing Streets of Rage a while ago. Sorry to go off topic, but we was playing Streets of Rage, and you had the prostitutes run up on you, and you got to thump them. So if Michael Jackson is
like Street Fighter,
Street
Fighter,
Street Fighter. So it's like in the Michael Jackson game, he thumped everybody. The little Annie, are you okay, guys? The this and that. So I was like, Michael Jackson spun a lot of stuff off this, and then I think this was the last go round with Pepsi. It may not have been the last go round, but whatever it was, he had such a successful platform off of that like later on in life for me, like he did the music for Sonic 3, I believe it was. Like I learned more things about him after he died because I was like, got interested, but it was that one movie. And it's a shame, like, because in your lifetime, had you ever heard of the movie?
Nah, not Moonwalker, no.
Nah, it's just one of the things that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
And it's just like, some of the stuff is questionable. But now, I mean, it's a good deal. So that's one gem I'd like to pass along to everybody. If you get a chance, definitely check out Moonwalker. The music, Dirty Diana. Really,
one of my favorite songs.
And one thing like that got me about the Man in the Mirror, he's out there and the people get the Michael Jackson disease and they start falling over and stuff and all that craziness, which could have been the first Corona too. And that's just a joke, but I'm being serious. It could have been the first Corona because they was choking up and inhalating and all this extraness.
Yo, it was so. Oh man, that was so crazy. Like that's why people say like to this day, there's like no artist will ever beat Michael Jackson. Like because the way he had people fainting.
Eat the Michael Jackson disease.
Passing the fuck out, like they were passing the fuck out.
Yeah, and it didn't make no sense. But my take on this is the reason that the movie moved me is because after that movie, I hated musicals. I could never watch another musical. Like I could watch some concerts and stuff. Like if it's a if I know the content, but like anything else that was anything near musical, I could never watch again. The Sound of Music, any of that crap.
Yeah.
And the way that it moved me was as a kid, everything that went on in those songs, and you know the songs in the videos, maybe not the Moonwalker, but you know the songs and stuff. Even to this day, I as an adult, I still don't even know why I vibe with everything outside of Man in the Mirror and certain other stuff like Bad. I don't know why I get down with that. It's just because it was Michael Jackson and Wesley Snipes in the video. He was so commercial enough I could look past certain things and just listen to his music.
Yeah, it's like the way you make me feel.
Yeah, the way he make me feel.
It's like those are songs that are just quality different. Like it's quality different. Like it's not that it's different. It's just quality wise, it's just different. And then you watch the videos, it's like, whoa, okay, this shit is different. And he only had like one girl in every video. He never had like a plethora of girls and nothing like that. He had one girl he focused on, always on videos. It never was like tons of girls in a damn video. Like you paid attention to that shit. He only had one leading lady every time he did a video.
Right. And to me, that like it kind of taught you a little chivalry and how to be a gentleman to a certain degree, minus the woo and the he. Because I don't know what that was about. That's just some shit he said. He must have stubbed his toe. He. I can see that, you know what I'm saying. But it was a thing like, and then you know, like I said, it was Thriller and Bad. And I ain't gonna ever say Dangerous because Dangerous has some songs that people like Black and White.
And
Remember the time.
always forget. We really do forget his first album he ever did.
Off the Wall.
Off the Wall is the classic. We forget it.
All right,
Rock with You is one of the greatest fucking songs of all time.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you later to go on YouTube later. They did a documentary of Off the Wall.
Okay.
I swear to God. And it when you tie it to Moonwalker, like if you know Moonwalker now, so you watch it, and I think it's the title of it is something like Off of Motown or something, like because he was leaving Motown, joining
Motown,
yeah, Off of Motown or something. That's what the title's called. So look it up later, and they talk about how he got that disco sound and everything going. And I agree with you. Off the Wall was an album. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Everything on there. And then he had one that would have like I forgot, but it's a lot of stuff on that one. But yeah, them 3 albums. And like I said, Dangerous, and then the other album that came out back, and then the one with Chris Tucker in the video. Them albums was like Victory.
I like not Victory. I don't fuck with Victory. I don't even listen to that shit. Invincible?
Yeah, Invincible, something like that.
Yeah, that album was actually good. I mean, it's not bad. It got some songs on there.
And one thing I want to go ahead.
It was like 2001. I remember that because I used to listen to Michael Jackson in 2001. That was like when he was like, I think it was like his 30th year in show business or some shit. They did like that big ass concert. Yeah.
And he was all like this and shit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, and one thing that got me though, that still rocks me to this day. And this is why like everybody gives their flowers, and much respect to J. Cole. We'll have to do an episode about him one day. But Drake. Yes. This is my one thing about Drake that sets him apart from any artist. He got the unreleased Michael Jackson on his album. He got Michael Jackson on his album for real. Like it may have been posthumous or whatever, but he got a Michael Jackson cut that nobody had heard or knew about, except the people that made it.
Yeah.
So that right there, like that solidified Drake for me.
Everybody like because I remember when that fucking album's coming out and everybody was like Michael Jackson on his album. So you telling me Pusha T killed him and he went to heaven and worked with Michael Jackson?
And when he came with, when he came with that, when he killed it, he didn't even make a video or nothing to it. It was just a B-side track.
And the craziest thing is, like, I went to the concert. So I went to the concert and he was saying that song and then he was saying Rock With You. What? So he knew, he was saying that song and then he was saying Rock With You. So yeah, Drake knew how to do it. He was I went to the Drake and Amigos concert. Yeah, I went to that show. He killed it that night.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to go find that on the low somewhere. So once again, audience, this was never meant to be a very long show. This was one of these deals where we wanted to get in here. It was something that moved us. And sometimes these quick episodes, they're not bad, but we do these because we just want to, spice it up a little bit. This episode will be on both platforms at some point. I want to thank you, Brandon, for having me on your show, and I want to thank you for coming on my show. I wanted to thank you for doing a conjunction, as they call it, because I ain't never done a conjunction with somebody put out some material that we both put out at some point. So once again, this was an episode of a movie that moved me.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like that, and we'll run with that one. And remember, you can always catch Brandon Janu on the Brandon Janu Show. That's on all platforms. You can listen to it anywhere. He even has a YouTube channel. He's on Patreon now. He's doing extra stuff on the Patreon that's not available anywhere else. So jump in, listen to this man's show, get entertained, and you can also reach this man at his cell phone number that he will provide to you through the DMs if he chooses to. So you can be one-on-one with him, have a video appearance. That was just a joke. But this man is everywhere, and he is what we call a bright star out here. When you got people that got good energy and can vibe with anything. Because the story on this whole concept was this. Like I literally said earlier, I watched Moonwalker on YouTube one day, and I just hit him up. I was like, "Yeah, we need to do an episode about this." Now, prior to this, I had just put an ad out there, some random ass ad that said "movie that moves me" or some shit. I didn't even think about how I was going to do an episode. I was just like, "I'm going to do an episode on this." So I put it on the storyboard, and then I slapped it out there on Canva, and then put it out to the audience. So this is one of these great things that I tell people about. This is how you truly make episodes. It started out on a storyboard or a drawing board, as I do things. I didn't have a cast for it. I didn't even have a premise for the show. I just had the title, and we just made that show. Now, Brandon, did you know you got any more?
And you also know that like anytime you hit me up, it was like, yo, I need to do something. I'm like, I got you. Don't even worry about it. Because like I said, you're a mentor of mine, and I'm always gonna help. I'm always gonna jump on and do something with you, man. So
and let me put this one thing out there in the air. He cut me down. This was the first time he ever cut me down on something. I was about to do a remix to an episode that I haven't even produced yet, and he was like, "Nah, that's just gonna be whack." And he told me that. That's the first time he ever told me something like that. I was thinking about I was gonna have to get my hitters to come down there, but then I thought about it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him slide on this one. But he was right.
First of all, you asked me, you was like, do you really want to do this show? And I was like, nah, that just sounds stupid.
One day I'm gonna do it. But one day I am gonna do a remix to one of my episodes. Nobody understands why I do that, but I got this Diddy complex, so I just tell them that. So once again, audience,
you don't want to go too. Hold on, you don't want to go too Diddy. You don't want to go too Diddy.
I ain't talking about Illuminati Diddy. I ain't.
Oh no, okay.
I ain't talking.
We ain't talking about brother. We ain't talking about brother love Diddy. We talking about like Biggie 112 Mace.
We talking like Diddy. 1989 Diddy when he was really out there. He was still dancing in the videos.
We talking about Uptown Records and shit.
Yeah. when he was driving the gold body Benz, the Alpine Benz, BMW. When he was just doing minor figures, not nothing major. But once again, guys, to close this out, this has been West Virginia Commonplace, along with
Brandon Janu Show.
And we're out of here.